This is my 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E, and after having it for about 3 months, I can say that I really like it, but hot take, the Tesla Model Y is a superior product. It's not just these weird door handles that I don't like. It doesn't have anything to do with any of the ergonomics. I love the big screen. I bought an aftermarket charging mat that works much better. I like this screen as well. And getting kids in the back is actually pretty easy, and I got a bad back, and getting them in the doors is not the worst thing in the world. However, and I really love the panoramic moonroof that you get with the premium trim. The big thing that makes the Tesla Model Y, and I've spent some pretty good time in the Model Y and the Model 3 renting through Turo and going on some trips where you're spending several days in the vehicle, is the amount of software bugs that are in this car is pretty unusual for a modern vehicle. Now, I will say that overall, I mean, this car gets a really solid A-, B+, but the Tesla Model Y is a superior vehicle. Now, going back, if I had the choice to get the Tesla Model Y versus the Ford Mustang, I would still get the Ford Mustang. And it's because I had a feeling that people would have some strong feelings about Tesla this year. Now, this is not a political statement one way or the other about Elon Musk, but I could see that things were brewing about the time that I was buying this vehicle with Elon Musk and with Doge coming in. And I had a feeling that people one way or another would be having thoughts and opinions about Tesla, and then that would be impacting people's perception of them. Here in Oregon, there are Teslas that are getting vandalized, and I would not want to be in that sort of situation. So even though the vehicle is a superior vehicle, it really is, I would still buy the Ford. And then overall, I mean, I'm not going to sell this car to go get a Tesla either way. It's because overall, I do like it. Some of the software bugs that it has are very manageable. For example, every once in a while, the HVAC system, you want heat and it's not producing heat. So you have to turn on the defrost for a little bit and then magically the heat will work. Things like that. It just seems like it has to remember. Also, a big thing is in terms of software updates, the system, even though I had a really bad problem with the Tesla Model 3 that I rented in Canada, the self-driving computer ended up being broken in that situation. But besides that, I've been in Teslas when they have been doing their over-the-air updates, and it's so seamless. There's in my app, it tells me the updates that I get, and it's really cool. It says, hey, like for example, I just got Blue Cruise 1.3, which includes the lane change assist, which all the Teslas that I have driven have that, where you press the blinker and it'll change lanes for you. This car didn't have it when I got it, and then on my birthday, it's like, hey, here you go. It won't activate. So I read online, and it's because they've been rolling this out to the older Mach-E's like mine in 2022 years, etc. There is a piece of code that needs to be changed to enable that. The cool thing about Ford is that if you have what's called ForScan, which is a really inexpensive app, and then a standard OBD2 reader, you can actually change that piece of code and it'll start working. But as of right now, I had the one update, and then even this morning, and today's April 8th, another update went through. And it still didn't fix it. So I can't turn on it has this lane positioning thing where it will move slightly over if it senses cars coming at you, which is pretty cool when you have the adaptive cruise control on and lane change assist. Both of them won't turn on. So there is a huge forum population that goes through all of this stuff, which is the reason why I know how to fix the HVAC and why I know how to fix the blinkers, etc. That makes it like, it's okay. I also really like that you can, spend less than $100 and be able to do things on your vehicle. And then there's this thing called FDRS, which is what Ford dealers use to do plug-in updates. Like if you have to plug into the Ford diagnostic system to be able to make updates directly to the vehicle, you can buy an interface for about $575, and you can get a dealer subscription for about $300 and be able to make those updates on your own. And the risk is decently low if you about like bricking your car and stuff like that. I did learn as well that that protocol is extremely slow comparatively to what you get with Tesla. So Tesla, you can actually buy a Tesla diagnostic service, and you can get a subscription, and it's really not that much more expensive in order to get, it's like $700 per year to be able to go do things like diagnostic and plug in your car and make updates and such. And then the cable is really inexpensive, is because it is kind of like an Ethernet cable, and it's much, much faster. Other things like the self-parking system in this car has never really worked very well. I haven't tried it since I had the coaxial cable fixed for the front-mounted camera. Once that got fixed, that was great. And then there's random errors that just just pop up that I didn't get when I drove the Tesla. The Tesla also seems a lot smoother. This has a little bit of a harsh ride. The person that had this car before me put a very good set of tires. It's a little bit thicker of a sidewall that makes the ride a little bit less harsh. I drove the GT version of this car a couple years ago in Tennessee on some pretty harsh roads, and that was really harsh. And I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to drive this car. But with the thicker tires that we have, it actually works really well. And I've driven this car in some snow. I've driven this in a little bit of ice. In the rain, this car just sticks directly to the road, which is really nice. The Blue Cruise, it works really well. It does seem like it turns off pretty easily for a lot of different parameters. It will say like, hey, take control of the car. And that's the complete self-driving tool that Ford uses. And it never really seemed like that happened when I would be driving Teslas. So I know a lot of people have some thoughts about Tesla and what's going on right now with Tesla leadership, both good and bad, and with Elon Musk. But if you're looking just at the car itself, and even though, you know, some of the things about Tesla is that, I mean, the Tesla Model S is an old car at this point. And Tesla Model 3 even is getting to be up there in terms of like mid-cycle refresh and stuff. I think the Tesla Model Y in particular is a superior vehicle to the Ford Mustang Mach-E. However, I'm glad that I got this car. I do really enjoy it. My kids really enjoy it. It seems like it's really sporty, even though it's fast, but you know, it's that instant punch torque. I do like that it's a Ford. My local dealership has not been very helpful, unfortunately, in terms of taking care of this car, but there's a lot of things that I can just do on my own. It does seem like it's very DIY, which is really good. So I'm glad I got the Ford. Just if anyone is looking at a mid-size family SUV and you're looking at an EV, and I know tariffs are coming down in terms of it's going to be changing a lot of things, I'm sure, about pricing and whatnot, definitely look at the Ford. The Ford dealer that I worked with to get this car was willing to negotiate with me, which was great. And that's not really a thing, I guess, with Tesla, because everything is centrally controlled in terms of pricing. But I was able to get the EV tax credit on this as well. So if you're looking for, I mean, even if you're not necessarily looking for EV stuff, EV tax credit is $4,000 right off the price of the car. And sometimes the dealers will take that. So my dealer took the EV tax credit, so I got $4,000 off right there, which dealer likes that because it seems like they're giving us a deal, even though they get to claim that credit. And then it's nice because $4,000 off of the price of a car. This was just about $25,000. And then after that was, you know, of course, less. It was really nice. So this is just a lot of car for the money regardless. So don't sleep on the Ford Mustang Mach-E. They're really good. But if you really do want the best, it's still Tesla Model Y. You just have to think about where you're living and if there are going to be neighbors that are going to want to write their own paraphernalia on your car.